Man, got it.
Right
All right,
on.
guys. So let's give everybody a minute to join. You never know who's going to show up. We had 40 some people sign up, so we'll see what happens. It's the middle of the day, so we knew real estate agents had time to jump on, right? Because we
Or
work all night.
hopefully they're lucky and they got a quick call to show a house.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. So anyway, my name is Mark McMahon. This is Travis White, and we are um, a couple of fellas, and also my wife Yuko's in the background, kind of letting people in and stuff, doing the admin for this. But thank you, Yuko. But we decided to start doing these training sessions for people so that they had a chance to kind of learn what's worked for us. And we're of course going off of the things that we know, and also the things that we learn on a weekly basis at our brokerage. We have a group of people there that is really, really good about sharing what works, which is kind of rare in a brokerage. But anyway, so that's what Travis and I decided to do. So we're doing this mostly for real estate agents, but also for investors. That I'm always pushing everybody to get your real estate license if you're an investor. Just a quick reason why is last year Yuko and I made a little over $200,000 extra by having a real estate license. And Travis, I shared that with Travis, and he obviously knew about it because he's been an agent for so many years, but he was kind of blown away by that, right, Travis? It was like that you never really actually thought of it that way because you work with a lot of investors, right?
Correct. So yeah, it's a good idea for investors to get their real estate license because then they can list their own properties. Not only that, but like for example, at your new listing in Huntington Beach the other day, neighbors came in, they want to sell their house.
Yeah,
If you were just a flipper, you'd have to refer it to me. But
yeah.
now you get to sell somebody's house.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, I mean, we're actually cutting our own throats as agents. I mean, if I put on my agent hat, it's kind of cut my own throat. But I also, feel like it's my duty to spread the word that this is available. And I think for so long, people thought, oh my God, I'm an investor. I can't get my license because, fiduciary duty and disclosure and this and that and the other. Guys, we've been doing it for 17 years and it doesn't get in the way. It really doesn't get in the way. When we list our own flips, if someone wants us to work with them directly, in other words, to try to double end it, we always refer that to one of our team members and let them handle that side of the transaction so that we're not handling both sides. But yeah, honestly, there's just so much more money into it. And hang loose, guys, because we will. Hey, Henry, what's up? We will be answering questions at the end. So
Yes.
so
Yeah.
the positive of having not that many people on here right now is that people will join, but that everybody will have time to ask a couple questions. So
Absolutely.
Travis, do me a
Well,
favor.
real quick, can let me add a little bit to what you're saying. You're talking about how investors get the real estate license to,
Mhm,
save, make more money. But
mhm,
also this talk is going to be good for a lot of us agents. My background before I became a realtor, I owned a lot of properties in Newport Beach, rental properties, flip properties. And
mhm.
when I put my agent hat on all these years, I kind of forgot about the other three or four things I could do for these properties. And Mark got me thinking about that again and got me excited again about buying rental properties, flipping properties. So that's something too just to consider. But right now, like Mark says, we'll get into just to the topic of this webinar, right?
Half of it,
Half of it.
the good half,
Yes,
the good half.
exactly.
I think honestly, and then let me say something else too, because I I get a lot of deals brought to me, and we get a lot of listings brought to us just simply because we've been in the business so long. So that, when you're getting referrals all the time, you get this sense of complacency. And I don't know about anybody else out there, but when you're getting stuff regularly, you get a little bit complacent about, kind of where your deals come from, and you might not be marketing as much as you should be, either whether as an investor or a real estate agent. And Several months ago, Travis and I started talking about door knocking, which is what he's going to talk about today. And I started doing it, and the buyers and sellers, it's amazing the people that are coming to us. So, um, the investor clients that are going to start coming to you, when you start networking with more people. I mean, just the whole world opens up when you market more. And I'll talk a little bit more about investor clients too, as for you agents out there, about maybe something you're missing out on. But sorry to jump in there, but when Travis started talking to me about that, it really changed my business. And so now I'm door knocking, and every time I walk up to a house, it's either a listing or a potential purchase in my head. Right now,
Yeah.
obviously, not every house works out, but I've got so many more arrows in my quiver, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But Travis, let's talk about how the 11 listing man in his own farm, 11 listings at one time. Tell us exactly how that happened, and what was the evolution for you to get from the beginning, before, when you didn't know anything, to actually becoming so successful.
Yeah, so it's basically farming. For me, door knocking is part of farming. Today we're just going to talk about what I do at the door because there's so many other aspects into door knocking, farming, all that. But
Mhm.
just a quick background. Um, I got my real estate license, passed the test on a Thursday. That Friday morning, I was door knocking with just flyers, and I went to an area where everybody told me I'd never be able to sell a house. And I got into that area within several years. I've sold more homes there than any other agent in MLS history. Now there's teams, there's brokerages that have sold more there for me, but as far as an individual agent, I went in there and conquered it. And yeah, it started with just door knocking. And then of course I do postcards, flyers, open houses, all that is other subject matters we'll get into with you guys. But today I just want to talk about what I do when I'm at the door for door knocking. And so let's start with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So most times agents, everybody always asks me, well, what do you say at the door? What if they slam the door in your face? What if they're mean to you? What if, what if? I door knock 2,400 homes, and out of those 2,400 homes, there's maybe five or six I don't go back to. Everybody else is so nice, so friendly, so welcoming. And it's because I'm not really trying to sell them anything. I'm giving them something. I'm 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 there, I'm in and I'm out. First of all, we're trespassing on their property, we're
Mhm.
bothering them. So I just want to get up there, give them something, and get out of there. I'm just there for them to remember who I am. And so my strategy, it's a different door knocking strategy than a lot of other coaches, other people tell you. Mine
Mhm.
is I'm building my brand in my area. So when it comes time for them to sell a house or buy a house or refer a realtor, they think of me. And I'll give you a good example. My last sale last month, 2.6 some odd million dollars. I door knocked that house for 10 years. So it finally paid off. Okay.
Mhm.
Went door knocking last Friday. Somebody there, hey, we have a family member who wants to buy a house. Can you help us? Sure, perfect. There's a $900,000 sale. So I continuously stay in front of everybody, and it's really they're very warm to me. And so that's my strategy.
Mhm.
Like I said, there's other ones. So what do I do at the door? Okay. So to prepare for door knocking, first I make index cards. Okay, I'm going to show this to you guys. Okay. So and I have the
Travis,
template for this.
I'm gonna interrupt you
Yes.
for a second, because I kind of said, they've got apps for that, and I think the app would be better. And I'll tell you, when you're standing at someone's door right before you walk in, you don't want to be fumbling around with your phone, especially in the bright sun, going, "Oh, hi, Mr. Smith."
Hold on,
Uh,
let me unlock my phone.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh shit, it closed again. What was your name again?
Yeah.
So I love it. The cards. I mean, you can see I've got, this is what I knocked last week. So
Yeah.
uh yeah, they're awesome. So anyway,
Old
so
school. This is old school. It's always worked and it continues to work. So I have the template for this and I could share this template and I get the data from the MLS from Realist. And so basically I'll do park my car at a street. I'll do 5 doors up, 5 doors back. And I have these cards and I basically hold everything like this. I'm going to stand up and show you guys real quick. You can see I'll have all my notepads with flyers and I'll show you what's on there. And I have the cards. So as I'm walking up to a house, I write their name on there. This is Fazio. So I write Fazio family. And so when I go up to the house, I have that written on there already. Their name, family. It's very personal. It
Yeah.
works. Most other agents are just dropping stuff off and leaving. So the purpose of these index cards, let me get into that real quick. This is a history of me door knocking at their house. As you can see, I've been door knocking for 10 years. So I just print out new cards. I could get into later what I write on these cards, but I'll write the date. And then based on if somebody opens the door, I write other things on there, like if it was the man, the woman, the son, the daughter, um, a helper, whether it's cleaning or a nanny or something like that. So that way I keep track. It's much easier walking up to every door. I don't have to hold all 10 notepads and my cell phone and unlock my cell phone and pull it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and type in data.
So
That's
true.
it. It's simple. So index cards. I could send you the link to Amazon, buy the index cards to print out, and I could share the template. Next thing, notepads. Okay. Again, I could share the link with you where to order these. And there's a specific reason I have them this size. A lot of realtors have the thin ones, those get thrown out. This size is perfect for people to actually write on grocery list, things like that. I've
Mhm.
had people write their wedding speech on these. I've had people write other personal things on these in their lives. There we go. Okay. Now, what I write on here is you can see this right now in summertime. So I write, welcome to summer, and then Travis, my name slanted. Okay. So different times of the year, welcome to summer. Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, welcome to fall, welcome to spring. If I have an open house, a new listing, here's what I do. I write, come visit my open house. So you're inviting them to see your open house, and this one is great when you have a new listing and you're going to do an open house because people think it's so nice. Oh my gosh, let's go check out Travis's new open house, and that's how you establish a relationship. Because you're doing the open houses, they came, they visited you, and I get that all the time. Hey, Travis, yeah, we just stopped by because you invite us to your open house. Great. Okay. Now these notepads specifically, the size is I forget the size, but it's the wide. I think it's 8 by 6, something like that.
Eight by
And I
five,
have
but something like
eight
that.
by
Yeah.
five, and I have 50 sheets in here. So it's big enough to write on. And you always put your information down at the bottom, never put it on top. Okay. Because you don't, I see people's notepads where half of it is their information and they have
Mhm.
3 different phone numbers on there and 2 websites. No, you want your name, your phone number, your email. And this one, I forgot to put a photo of me. So if you look at Mark's, he has the photo of him and Yuko. Let's see that real quick. See? So yeah, I forgot to put on this one, but it's simple. Okay. And you have it on bottom so people could just write on this because you really you don't want your name all over there because then they won't use it.
Mhm.
50 sheets. 50 sheets gives you enough sheets on there to where you have 3 or 4 months to go back to their house and drop off another one right when they need it.
Mhm.
Okay. A lot of thought has gone into this. Let's
And
talk about,
actually 10 years of thought. I mean, so that's the funny thing. It's like the first week I went door knocking, I told Travis about it, and this is a couple few months ago. And I said, "Oh man, look at it went really, really well. I got like a 10% reaction rate. In other words, 10% of people open the
yep,
door." And I said, "But I didn't take the time to write people's names on top because it didn't seem important." And it was like, damn, it was like Travis just shut me down and he goes, "Dude, that's the most important thing." He
yes,
goes, "Nobody's doing that." And you went ahead and went out there and didn't do it. So you're just like everybody else. I said, "Well, I wrote Welcome to Summer." And he goes, "That's not enough. You got to set yourself apart." And it's so important. This little formula of his, I,
yes.
it freaking works. I mean, what is the price point in your neighborhood? And just for people just for context, and this is would normally be like a super scary neighborhood for anybody to start in. So, I'm sorry to steal your thunder, but what is your
No, please. Well, I just sold a lot, a tear down for $2.6 million.
for a lot?
There's
How big is
for a
that?
lot now,
How many square feet?
6,500.
Yeah, there you go. Huge,
Now
massive.
there's condos in there. I've sold some condos in there. Well, the condos now are probably up to like probably the cheapest condo is probably 1.5.
That's a nice
So
paycheck. It's a nice
yeah.
paycheck.
And those are the bread and butter. You sell those one a month. And yeah, I've sold all the way up to $6 million in my neighborhood. Prices now in that neighborhood go up to 10, probably 15 million.
Yeah,
And it's all the same strategy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it works. So yes, Mark, you said something right. That's the most important thing. Putting their name on there personalizes it. Okay. So definitely do that. Take the time. So it's the notepads. All this is thought out. All of this is thought out. So don't go cheap. Don't get thin notepads. I basically tell people I've been coaching like some people for 10 years doing this. And if you just do the exact steps, just close your eyes, walk forward, and do what I say, guess what? You'll sell a lot of houses.
Yeah,
That's how simple it is.
yeah.
Okay. So we got the notepads. We know what to say on there. Okay. We got our index cards. Okay. Again, I'll have the format and on here, basically what I have, I'll tell you this real quick too. I have their name, the address I'm at, but I also have their mailing address. Their mailing address might be different. So it makes me think, okay, either it's a rental property or they just have a different mailing address.
Mhm.
And I find out more when they open the door and find out if I have the right last name or not. And then on the property info, I have the square foot, the lot square foot, what it sold for, and when it last sold. So I'm just informative about their property. Again, there you guys go. If you could see all that, okay. And 7-1, that's the last time I door knocked this place. Okay. Okay. Index cards, notepads. Let's talk about one more thing, and then I'll show you guys what I do and say at the door. Okay. So, um, flyers. So this is combination of I actually improved these recently with Mark and Yuko. I have two-sided flyers. The first side up on top, we always have our photo, our name, our phone number, and what this actually is. This is Newport Heights Market Snapshot. And then I have a specific phrase or tagline, Newport's hardest working agent, trademarked. So you
Yeah,
might want to have a phrase too for that specific neighborhood, just to be catchy. Because I tell you what now, when people see me out at the grocery store, out somewhere, hey, Newport's hardest working agent. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's awesome.
Okay.
That's
So
awesome.
then I just pull up the neighborhood that I'm in. I have big numbers of stats, so it's easy to read. You don't want to give them, that printout from the MLS or OCAR or your board or something like that, where it has all these graphs and everything. They're not going to read it. You just want it simple. You see that?
Hmm.
And then a map of the properties and the addresses of the properties. For sale, just sold, in escrow. Okay. For me on the backside, what I actually do in that neighborhood, I list every single property I sold. Now this builds credibility and trust because they're going through this. They're like, "Oh, I live on Bolsa," or "Oh, I live on Kings Place." "Oh, I live on El Medina." "Wow, he sold 4 homes on El Medina." "Wow, he sold 5 homes on St. James." So it just adds credibility and trust. So I have that here, and I write, what is it? Most sales ever in Newport Heights and Cliff Haven. Okay. So I could share this with you guys too. This is the Canva template, and I could share that with you guys. Okay. And then I have the notepad and I just put it in the back of the notepad, as you can see there. So this part stands out right there.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So we got index cards. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes real quick, guys. Index cards. Let's talk about, okay, how to stand, and then I'll get in what to say. Okay. Um, oh, first, before what to stand, what do you wear? Okay.
Yeah, that was. It's like, what kind of car do you drive? What do you wear? Blah blah blah. So yeah,
Yeah.
good questions.
I mean, car drive, I drive a Bronco. I drive a truck. I don't have no fancy car and it's fine. It doesn't matter. As far as what to wear, It's kind of the neighborhood. The numbers that I'm selling and that the value in my neighborhood. Wintertime, I mostly wear a collared shirt, roll up the sleeves, some nice slacks, and not dress shoes, but nice shoes that are very comfortable. Um, and of course, like I said, a button-down shirt. In summertime, on a cool day, I might wear that. A lot of days, like I went this morning, and you can see I'm just wearing a t-shirt. Today I wore a t-shirt and shorts, and most people, it's okay. It's summertime, it's hot, it's a beach community. That's what they wear. I fit in with them, and they understand it's a hot day. Travis, I can't believe you're out here today, but they see how hard I'm working. Okay. So that's what I wear. Anything I need to add to that, Mark?
No, I just think it's important that people understand that, yeah, it is better to wear a little bit nicer clothes on those days, just because I mean you're doing a very expensive service, but it's not as important as the door knocking itself.
Correct.
Wearing the right clothes. I mean, whatever you wear is the right clothes. I wear white t-shirts. If probably everybody out there knows that,
Yeah,
and
but
but
it's a nice white t-shirt.
well, it is a nice. They're expensive,
Yeah,
but when I door knock, I typically I'll wear a polo and cotton pants because it's hot,
yeah.
and sports, not sports shoes, but like Echo, blue,
Yes, exactly.
like tennis shoes. But it's very casual, and it makes me less uptight. It makes me. I don't know about everybody else out there, but the way I dress is the way I present myself, and I want to be approachable, and I don't want to come off as unapproachable. So dressing like that works. It's the perfect happy medium for me.
I'll add to that, Mark. I want to be comfortable. I want to be me when I'm at their door, when I'm
Mhm,
walking around.
mhm.
I want to be comfortable. This way, the real, genuine me comes out.
Right.
I don't wear a suit. I don't wear a tie.
No.
That's not me. Um, it's kind of like dating. You want to be yourself in the beginning so they know who they're dating, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. 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 I
So,
agree. No, I
so
think you nailed it. It's whatever you're comfortable with, because any point of discomfort, look, you're going to be uncomfortable door knocking in the beginning, even though I door knocked thousands of doors in my life. And I was telling Travis the other day, I pulled up in my neighborhood, and I don't know what it was, but I just was like, oh, I'm not really feeling it today. And what do you do when you're not feeling it?
you know what? I was going to talk. I totally forgot about that. Let's talk about that real quick. This will
Yeah,
only
yeah.
take a few minutes, guys. Um, this happens a lot to me, especially in the beginning for you guys. You have everything ready. You have your notepads ready. You're ready to go. You're at the street. Everything's organized. I'm going to go
Mhm.
do these. I do 10 doors, 10 doors, 10 doors. And you sit there in your car and you get a little nervous. And I basically tell myself, it's only 10 doors. And I look in my review mirror and I say this to myself, Travis, do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. Well, I really don't want to do this right now. And I don't want to do this and I don't want to do it right now. So go do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Immediately, I get out my car, I grab my 10 notepads, I go knock 5 doors up, 5 doors down. I get back to my car, I go, well, that was only 10 doors. I still kind of don't want to do this, but I'll just do another 10. Boom, I go do 10 more. Well, shoot, I've done 20. Okay, let's go do 10 more. Okay, I'm at 30. Well, I only want to door knock 50 doors today, or that's in my schedule. What's another 20? And that's it, guys. That's it. Okay. So if everybody could just remember that, do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. And just look in
And
your rearview
and
mirror and
and
tell yourself
and
that.
the funny thing is, you're never going to get a massive amount of people answering the door. I mean, you're going to get different people answering the doors depending on when you're knocking, but what is it, 10%?
It's 10%. So if you knock 50 doors, average 5 people are going to open the door. Now there's some days where I get, you know, 10 people opening the door, and then some days I only get two. But I keep track of everything, on my notepads. I keep
Yes.
track because this number right here, 7-1, I was there that date, but they didn't open the door. If they opened the door, I would have wrote a note on there on who answered the door. So then
Yeah.
at the end of door knocking, I come back in and I basically keep track of what the ratios are. So let me get real quick into how to stand and what to say. Okay.
Yeah, we've got about 2 more minutes, bud.
Okay. when we go up to the door, we're in their castle. We're trespassing on their land. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go up. Hopefully you guys can see me. There we go. You walk up to the door, you knock, and then you take a step back. Woo. You take a step back and you turn sideways. So the door's right here, you turn sideways. This way that energy can flow and they don't feel threatened. Because if you're right here, even this on camera, if you're right here at the door, you're blocking them. Okay. So you stand sideways, you have your notepad ready, they open the door. Okay. And then here's what I say. I say, hey, it's Travis, just dropping off a neighborhood update. That's all I say.
That's
Cool,
it. You
thanks,
don't ask
Travis.
them
All
if
right. Bye-bye.
you don't ask them if they're looking to buy or sell.
No, because if I do that, next time I come around, they're not going to open the door. Man, Travis sure bugs me. But
Yeah.
when I do this, cool, thanks, Travis. That's it. Now you notice my line there. There's two things I want to point out there. Hey, it's Travis. Say your name. Hey, it's Travis. Hey, so every time they see me, hey, it's Travis. Just dropping off a neighborhood update, not a market update, not a city, not a report, just a neighborhood update. It's local. I'm in your city. So, hey, knock, knock. Hey, it's Travis, just dropping off a neighborhood update. Thanks, Travis. All right, thanks. Bye. I walk away. That's it. Now, what will happen is, hey, Travis, wait a second. Wait a second, Travis. I got a question. What do you think my house is worth? I mean, this happened 2 weeks ago on Santa Ana. I won't
Hmm.
say who it is, but
Hmm.
hey, what do you think I could sell my house for? We're thinking of selling in a couple of years. So you start walking away, they call you back. Okay.
Yes.
So that's how you stand. That's what you say at the door. Um, and I think that's it. Did I leave anything out, Mark?
Not for that part. There's so much more, and
Oh, yeah.
believe me, guys, we're going to be doing this on a regular basis from here on out. Just watch our emails for announcements. But we want to bring this stuff to you because, man, I'm telling you, it made such a difference in our business so far. So right now, we're going to jump into what happens when you actually get a deal, or when someone says, yeah, I do want to sell my house. So it's not specifically door knocking, but what I want to show you guys as an investor real estate agent, I want to show you how many more options you have when you actually get someone that wants to do some business with you. So I know for most of you agents out there, you generally you're looking for listings. Right now, I think we're all kind of trying to avoid buyers, which is a mistake. I think we just need to learn how to do it. Travis and Yuko have already done a couple of buyers with the new paperwork and have figured out how to do it. We'll go over that probably next month because I think it's very
Yeah.
timely. But we're gonna use our new methods a little bit more and narrow it down. Then we'll probably cover that. But today I wanted to talk about options that you have when you go out and talk to people, whether you're door knocking or just meeting up with a client. So typically, as a real estate agent, you're going to go up there and you're looking for a listing, right? Someone says, hey, look, I need to sell my house. I'm moving to Milwaukee and I got 3 months. You're going to go out there and you're going to do a presentation. Another thing we're going to go over is how to do a presentation that wins. And not today, but later on. And we need to get their house sold, and that's the only option we have, right? Is like, okay, yeah, well, I'll list your house and that's it. What if you had other options? What if their house is a mess and you can't really list it the way it is, and they don't have the money to fix it up? Well, Travis and I and Yuko have some partners that we work with that will actually come in and rehab the house on their dime and split the profits with the homeowner. We've got that out. We've got cash buyers, not just ourselves, but we have many other cash buyers out there, investors that we work with, and that's another source of income for you guys. If you're not working with investors, I mean, think about this: who buys how? I mean, your clients now, things have changed a little bit. So the average time in a house is like 11 or 12 years. Remember back when it was 7 years, Travis? That was the
Yeah.
statistic. Now it's 11 or 12 years. You're not getting that much business from those people. Now it's important to stay in touch because the time goes fast. But at the same time, I want to deal with people that are buying and selling all the time, maybe even at a little less commission, maybe at a discounted commission. But that's why I deal with investors, and so does Travis. So a lot of deals can't be marketed. A lot of people don't want their house put on the market. So that's option number three. Number one is listing. Number two is working with a trusted person that'll go in and rehab that house on their dime and split the profits with the person, right? So
Yep.
they're doing that, and people are getting more money for their house, and they're able to sell it easier because it's fixed up. So that's another option. And then the third option is working with investors and finding these deals, off-market deals for investors that you can just take directly to them. I've got a list of 250 investors. Deb, yeah, you heard that right. 250 active investors that we bring deals to all the time. Another source of income for us. The next one would be buying it yourself as a rental. And guys, there's other exit strategies here, but you think about that. So, I talked earlier about having a quiver of arrows on your back. A quiver is the
Yep.
thing that holds the arrows. So, for those of you younger folks, but you got all these arrows, and you're going to defend your financial moat very, very well with that. There's no reason when you go to a client, guys, to not have an answer for them. Oh,
Yeah.
I want to have this much money for it. Oh, okay, that's great. I don't think we can list it for that much, but if you want to sell, like if you want to sell your house, if I want to buy that house or that apartment complex for a rental for me, I might go to them and go, well, let's talk about terms. I can meet your price if you meet my terms. And a lot of times people will go for that. It's like, yeah, I want $1 million for this house. And that's like, maybe it's $100,000 more than that house is worth. But if I can stretch out the terms and get 0% interest for the first couple of years, I mean, that's another thing we'll talk about later on, is all these different
Mark,
scenarios.
can I add something real quick?
Please.
With these strategies Mark's talking about, this almost guarantees you the listing. Now, when we're going in there at the listing
Mhm.
appointment, we're not competing with against other agents for our commission.
Yeah.
We're netting these people more money. We're actually the realtor telling them how they can make more money with their property. And so commission really doesn't come up. I mean, guys, past several years, I've been doing 7% commissions because they're netting more proceeds. But that'll be a whole nother subject matter. But
Yeah.
I just wanted
Yeah.
to tell you what Mark is talking about. It gets you the listing. Okay.
Options. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you clarified that. I could have probably made that a little bit more clear, but thank you for that, because that's so important. You have more options than everybody else. So obviously people are going to trust you more. You're not going to get every listing. No one does, but you'll get more now. So having all these options really helps. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is, I don't know, for those of you that have followed me for a long time, I've got a thing called the 40% rule. Sorry, I wrote it on this. So basically, the 40% rule states that you are going to spend 40%, and in this case, it actually is 44%. And I'll take a snapshot of this and post it. You're going to spend 44% of your rent on expenses. So if you have the ability to quickly analyze a property, even when you're standing at someone's front door, let's say you're door knocking and you go, oh my God, I can put an ADU on this house. I can do this, I can do that, I can do the other. I think maybe I'd like to buy this house for myself. Because my general rule is, for every 3 or 4 deals you do, you better be buying a piece of real estate for yourself. Because I don't know about you guys, but my real estate agent job doesn't have a pension plan. So it's really important that we put away for our future. So I can walk up to a door, and if I know what the rents are generally, I know what my expenses are. It's going to be 40 to 45% of the rent. It's a rough number, but you guys can use that calculation, and that includes everything that's on here. We've got property maintenance, CapEx, property taxes, management, vacancy, utilities, insurance, legal fees, and CPA fees. So out of $2,500 in rent, $1,102 is expenses, not including your debt service. So you're gonna basically gross 1398, and then, or you'll net 1398 minus your debt service. So that is a really, really quick way to just take the rent amount. Just take the rent, say it's $1,000. You're going to have, hey, Kevin, you're going to have at least $400 to $500 in expenses right there before your debt service. So you can very quickly see if that property is going to work for you while you're standing there. That's a tool I've used for years. And then, of course, you take a deeper dive later on to find out exactly what the property taxes are and everything. But you got to make quick decisions when you're out in the field. Everybody knows that. There's Kevin's on here right here, and Henry's also an investor too. And we all know that if you can't make quick decisions, you're not going to get the deal
Yeah.
uh, or the listing. So remember, you're knocking on doors first and foremost. Obviously, if you're a real investor and you don't have your real estate license, you really should. There's no reason not to. Again, Yuko and I saved or made 250 grand last year extra by having our license. This year, it'll be roughly twice that, maybe three times. We're having a good year. So you need to really look into getting your license. If you guys need a real estate school or whatever, DM me. I'll send you some information. But the one thing I want you guys to remember is you need to walk to that door, as Travis said, with different options for people. And you need to make sure that whatever options you have are good for the client, because every option is good for you. Every single option that I just told you is good for you. Just make sure you find which one's best for the client, and you will get
Yes.
referrals from that. You'll get
Yep.
referrals from that. So I'm going a little quick today because we're running a little over. We can go a little bit more in depth on this at another time, but I did want to open it up for a few minutes of questions. If I missed anything, Travis, on that, because I was rushing it, if I missed anything, feel free to throw it in there. But again, the main points I want to tell you guys: go to the door, go to your consultations with options. Don't go
Yes.
with just the listing option. Go with other options. Set yourself apart. Like Travis said, nobody else is offering all of that. And if a few people are, who cares? How many agents are in California? A couple 100,000 or whatever. There's a massive amount of agents in California, maybe 300,000 or 400,000. So let's say 5% have all these options. Chances of you running into someone that has all the options, very slim.
Yeah.
Number two, investor clients are gold. Everybody avoids them like the plague because they don't know how to work with them. And if you know how to work with investor clients, you'll have business for the rest of your life. These people are buying houses every day, every week, every month, whereas regular homeowners are buying every 7 to 12 years. So if you want to have regular business, make sure and figure out how to work with investors. And that's another series that we'll do, because that's super important, is to learn how to talk investor talk. And I've got a whole thing on that. In fact, craziness is Travis and I are both putting together a ton of videos and information right now for everybody out there,
Yep.
especially those of you who end up wanting to work with us. But it's just amazing how much information we have available to us after all the years we've been doing this and have
Yeah.
succeeded. So anyway,
It's exciting.
Travis or me, anybody have any questions for
Yeah.
us?
Question. I saw a couple on here. I'll answer real quick. Kevin asked, "What times and days do you find are best?"
Oh, that's a good.
Um, Yeah, that is a good question. I usually go around 10 a.m. I let the parents drop the kids off at school. Somebody is out working, but sometimes, the wife might be home or something. So 10 a.m. Sometimes I mix it up and I will do an evening in the winter months when it's not so hot here, and I'll go around 4 or 5 p.m. Anything later, I don't want to disturb their dinner or something like
Yeah.
that. Sometimes what I've done, I've gone on Saturday mornings just to either invite them to my open house or get people. Sometimes I've door knocked the house for years and never see the people.
Yeah.
So, okay, I've been there on Tuesdays, I've been there on Thursdays. Okay, I'm gonna go door knock some on Saturday, and what do you know? I get to see them. So, and the reason I actually go in the morning is to get it out of the way. So this way I feel accomplished for the day. I get it done because with us realtors, things always come up, and so if you don't get it done first thing in the morning, you probably won't get it done. So there might be a better time, but it's better to get it done. So that was
Let me
Kevin's
let me let
question.
me let me say this. I think
Please.
95% of your door knocking is done like between 10 and 12 every day during the
Exactly.
week. During the
Yep.
week. So a lot of people, it's like, yeah, you got to go evenings, you've got to go weekends. Yeah, you're going to get more opens, but you should be doing open houses on the weekends and some other things. And maybe, God forbid, you might actually hang out with your family and do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
So this also works when people aren't home. The
Yes.
name of the game here is recognition. So, and we'll talk about postcards at another time, but
Yeah.
the 1-2 punch here is postcards and door knocking, and it really gets you known in that neighborhood.
Yeah, we'll do a whole thing on postcards because that
Yeah,
works. Trust me. Henry had a question here. Do you drop off a package if they don't answer? No. So Henry, exactly what I have here, and when I write, whatever Smith family on here, if they're not there, I leave it on their doormat. And usually, what I try and do, if there's a doormat there and a planter of bushes or flowers or something, I try and leave it sideways so it's easy for them to pick up. Otherwise, I just leave it on their doormat. So you just leave the same exact thing you're
yeah,
going to hand them.
because
Okay.
it's all about the recognition. They're going to see it, and I don't know if everybody can just give a reaction. What, how many people out there actually use these pads? Because we do use these in our house. We use these all the time. Not ours, but we have agents that farm our house, our neighborhood, not consistently, but they do, and we use the notepads. They're useful. We
Yeah.
definitely use them. Yeah, Ash is saying
Ash.
my family and
Yep.
I. Yeah, yeah.
Robin asked, how often do you door knock a home per year?
Good
When
question.
I started this 10 years ago, I had nothing else going on in my life. So I door knocked each home every quarter, so 4 times a year.
That's
Um,
tough. That's tough.
yeah, that is tough. After I would say 14, so 14, 15, I would say after 3 years, went down to 3 times a year. And then the past several years, I've been doing it 2 to 3 times a year. Last year, I did it 2 times a year. This year, I'm doing it 2 times a year. Um, but to start out, I mean, if you have the time, I would recommend your first year 4 times. But
Hmm.
if you can't, 3 to 2 is really good. You definitely want to do it as you build up your name. 2 times a year is sufficient. Okay.
Maybe
Um,
maybe what we can do too is one thing we didn't have time to do is go through the cost of
yes.
what it costs to actually go and do this type of marketing. And we all know. Um, oh, Kevin just sent me a copy of his. Thanks, Kevin, with his flyer too. Sweet. So Kevin's on board. Uh, where was I? What was I saying? Oh, the cost of marketing this way. Between and let's go over that next time because let's
Yeah.
just go over marketing costs because it's not like the cheapest thing in the world. But look, if you don't have any money, everybody can afford to have flyers printed up. If you
Use your
can't,
credit card.
yeah, yeah, use your credit card, yeah. But honestly, some people don't have that budget. So
Yeah.
yeah, the notepads are going to get you more recognition because every time someone tears off a sheet, your picture is on the next one. But at least get flyers printed up and get started. At least
Yes.
get started. Do not make the excuse, well, when we first got started a few months ago, it was like, yeah, our notepads aren't in yet. And Travis would just kind of look at me and shake his head. And it's just an excuse, guys. It's just an excuse. Everything
Like
that
I told
you
you guys,
was that?
my first day, I door knocked with flyers. I just got my license the day before. I didn't know anything really about contracts, anything else with real estate. I
Yeah.
just went door knocking with flyers. And I did that till I got my notepads, which took like a month later. But yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when we actually drop these off, the reaction that I've been getting, and it surprises me because I'm from the school of, hey, look, I'm looking for a house to buy in this neighborhood. Do you know who owns the house across the street? That's always been my door knocking strategy. And people have really, really mixed reaction to that. But this one is just amazing. And I get people that go, well, wait, 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 wait. Oh, you're a real estate agent. Yep, I sure am. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, wait. And then they might have a question. The other day I was dropping one off and I said, hey there, Mr. So and so. And he smiles at me and I go, did I get the wrong name? And he goes, yeah. And he went, I wrote it on here. And I said, and I looked at it and I looked at my card and I went, oh my God, these are the notepads for across the street. Holy crap. And I said, well, just tear the top page off and it'll be yours. And he goes, no, if you've already got it filled out, I want mine, which is cracks me up. And so I ran back to my truck, picked up his, ran back, gave it to him. We had like a 10-minute conversation about the recent, and this guy's about my age, very young. And so we had about a 10-minute conversation about him, the neighborhood, and everything else. And now Jim knows who I am. And every time I knock on his door, I know I can have a conversation with him. Right?
Yes.
That's what a conversations do. Conversations convert. They convert to sales.
Yes. And here's the thing, Jim's going to tell you when he sees you around or at your open house, or he's going to call you and go, "Hey, Mark, so and so down the street is thinking of selling their house." Or when so and so down the street's talking to Jim about selling their house, "Oh, you should call Mark." It
Yeah.
happens every time, guys. I mean, people in my neighborhood call me to get me sell their neighbors' houses. Dude, I now have friends in my neighborhood. We go out, happy hour together. We go get coffees in the morning together. They come visit me at my open house. Um, uh, Clients set me up with their daughters. Like it's you become part of the neighborhood, you know? So
Okay,
that's the
guys.
cool thing about it.
Ash has a question. Ash, can you unmute?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say thanks uh to Mark and Travis for the
Yeah, buddy.
breakdown. Um, so I've had my real estate license for like 3, 4 years, and I got into the mortgage business a while ago, and I
Mm-hmm.
dropped out of that once, as you guys know, rates skyrocketed. And then
Yeah.
I got into software sales. So I've been doing software sales full time for like 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always been around my mind to get back into real estate or to get into real estate. And I know that door knocking is one of those things that'll always work because
Yes.
it's the OG, it's the OG method
So
of
true.
marketing and getting business.
Yeah.
Um, is there a way to do it around having the 9 to 5 before,
Yes.
just wanting to get straight into real estate?
So 100%. Yeah, Travis, go ahead.
Ash,
Yeah,
I'm
great.
really
By the
excited
way,
for you,
Ash,
dude.
great question. Great
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Ash, I'm really excited for you, buddy. You could get into this. You could start doing this. The nice thing is you already have an income. So it's not like after 3 months, you're going to tell us, okay, I bought notepads, I did all this, I door knocked once, and now I'm broke. You have money coming in. So you could buy the notepads. You could, print out the nice flyers on your color printer. You could do the postcards. And just remember, this is a long-term strategy where the payoff at the end is huge. It's not immediate gratification. Okay. So, we could have a conversation with you. I'd be more than happy to kind of give you the whole strategy. But with your 9 to 5, since you have the funds coming in, I would go door knock Saturday and Sunday mornings. And Ash, commit to a year. My first year, I think it took me about 8 months to get my first listing, and that listing was $3.5 million. And I sold it to a famous rock star. And then 2 weeks later, I got my next listing for $3.2 million. So it's patience. Okay. You're in a great position, Ash. Really, really great, dude. And if you do this, I'm very excited for you, dude.
The other thing too is, and I want to go over this probably sooner rather than later, is so this is a future business and today business type of
Yes.
marketing, because you never know, people do need to sell the day you go. You're approaching so many people. Somebody's going to be like, what was it last week when you called me up and said, "Yeah, Mark, I just knocked on, so I've been knocking on this door for years. I know their name. They've never done anything with me. Now they want me to help their daughter buy a house." So you got a buyer broker agreement with them at 4%. And so it's an $800,000 budget, give or take. So that's $24,000 commission right there that he got or will get when they close this condo. And that was being at the right place at the right time. And if you're always out there, it happens. But one of the other things that I want to spend some time on next time we do this, and I'm trying to prioritize what I've been talking about
I
tonight,
know,
so
I
we're to
know.
come up with next time, but is today business. And there's a way to get today
You're
business.
right.
And Yuko and I are pretty good at that because I mean, Travis is a talker too, but man, I talk to people at the coffee shop. I talk to everybody around me. And what was it? Yuko popped on a minute ago. We were parking the car on Balboa Island probably about a month ago, and we parked in front of somebody's house. And they came out and they were very sweet, older lady. And she said, "Hey, look, can you do me a favor and knock on the door when you leave? We're having some people over tonight. My husband wants to put his car there." And I said, "Absolutely." So as soon as I got back, I knocked on the door and I said, "Hey, I'm here to move my car." And she was so thankful. Her husband came out, introduced himself, and the son came out, introduced himself, and we just literally got to talking. I asked him, I said, "What do you do?" His name is Joe, the son. I said, "So what do you do?" And he goes, "Actually, I work at this the fishing supply store, fishing, equipment." And I know it. It's a very famous brand. And I said, "Oh my God, that's amazing." And he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a real estate agent in Newport Beach." And he goes, "Oh, that's so cool. My family and I live in Huntington, though." And I said, "Oh no, we work there too. In fact, I've got a flip. We're going on the market next month." And we had this conversation, and it's funny. I went to Italy like 2 days later, and while I'm in Italy, this guy reaches out to me, and I was going to reach out to him when I got back. He reaches out to me and he goes, "Hey, Mark, let me know when you get back. I want to talk about what we're looking for." And it's like, that was just a conversation on the street. So that's today business.
Yeah.
Future
We'll,
business.
we'll do that our next thing.
So you
Sorry.
need a mixture of both, but I'm more than happy to show you how conversation starters and things like that, coming up.
That's a
So,
great idea.
all right.
Absolutely.
Such a good question though. Yeah. If you're doing something full time, then what do you do? But conversely, one other thing I want to touch on is, as agents and investors, we tend to spend so much of our time doing busy crap that it's important. Yeah, I know it's very important, but it's not as important as marketing. And every day that you miss marketing is one sale that you've missed, right? So
Yep.
every day that you market, if you knock on 50 doors a day, that's 50 touches, 50 outreaches, 50 touches, and you need like five to six times before someone wants to work with you. So you got to keep at it over and over and over. So one of the things that we found, Travis and I found when we got together. So I met him years ago at one of our brokerages. We were in the same brokerage in Newport, and then we met up again. It's been, I don't know, 6 months, 5 months now.
Yeah.
We've known each other all these years, but we really didn't keep in touch. And someone invited me to an event, and we went. Yuko and I went, and it was an event for another brokerage that we were already happy where we were, but we decided to go. And we ran into Travis and a few other people. And before we left, we had decided to change brokerages. And so that's when Travis and I and Yuko had this grand idea of taking the investment side and the real estate agent side and combining them together and putting together. Angie's here, Henry's here. Those are two of our team members. To put together a team of people that we could help build up their business and also help us build our business too. And that's we started working with Real Brokerage, Real, REAL. And that's kind of how this whole thing came together. And believe me, this is not a clever ploy to get you to join our brokerage. Although if you're interested in working with us and learning more in-depth stuff with us, we've got all kinds of courses and stuff that we give away for free. Angie, I know you're waiting for it. Henry, I know you're waiting for it. We're almost done with everything, and it's a massive undertaking to get it all together. But what we want to do is we want to train people to do what we do and do what they do, but do it better. And so one of those things that we want you guys to think about is working with us if that's something you're interested in learning more about how to be an investor, how to buy rental properties, how to get more listings, how to get more buyers, how to talk to people, how to stand at the door, all these things that we're going over. So Travis, do you have anything to add to that?
Just in the last part you said, how to do all this, how to get the listing, how to compete against other agents and actually get the listing. I go on listing appointments or interviewing 3 other people, and then they're going, we're not even going to call them. I walk into listing appointments most of the times. I don't even have to go over the whole presentation. Hey, here's the contract, just sign it.
Yeah.
And but like what Mark said, what we're doing, which is so unique, is it's creative collaboration. We're we're collaborating together and creating something that's kind of new. And we're around some of the best agents in our area, and we share everything. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, one of
Yeah.
the guy who recruited me, Jim Watson, he's one of the biggest agents in Newport. And how cool is it when I want some advice or know if I'm doing something right from somebody who does it better than me, just to give him a call or go meet up with him, or sitting down here with Mark and continuously build our marketing strategies together and learn together and build that quiver together.
Yeah.
There's no competition here. We're all a team collaborating together. It's exciting again.
Yeah, that's so funny that you say that because we were kind of getting burned out on the whole thing, because we're just doing the same stuff over and over and over and over. And real estate, whether you're investing or an agent, it's a lonely business. You're in it on your own, and even if you've got a broker that's hands on, 9 times out of 10 that broker's competing with you, right? So that's what's so great about this. A lot of us work in the same areas and we're still all working together.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those of you that have some time on Friday night, this Friday
Yes.
in Huntington Beach, Travis and Yuko and I will be doing an open house, kind of for friends and neighbors and colleagues and fellow investors and real estate agents at this latest flip that we just finished. And I'd be honored if any of you guys or all of you guys could make it there. It's Friday night. What the heck is the address? It's Friday night, and hang on a
I'm
second.
putting it in.
What's that?
I'm putting it in the
Yes.
chat.
Yes, Travis is this technological wizard. He can type.
What
But
time are we doing it at?
it's between 5 and 7, and there will be a churro truck there. They have ice cream. So
I can send you an invitation for everybody
Perfect.
after this.
yes.
And I just put the address in the comments.
Kevin, we always
yes.
offer referral fees and finder's fees, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, Kevin.
Absolutely. You know that. But yeah, it's going to be super fun. So we'll have the churro truck, we'll have some drinks and a chance to kind of watch us do an open house, kind of watch us move through the crowd and do what we do best. And a lot of this will be neighbors. This was the absolute worst house in the neighborhood by far. And everybody is so thankful that we got there and fixed it up because it's one of the first houses you see when you drive in. So super, super honored if you guys can make that on Friday. It's gonna be pretty cool. And you can kind of see the investor side of it. We're also listing it. And if you're an agent, you've got a buyer in Huntington Beach, bring it on. I can't tell you.
Come by.
I can't tell you whether there's compensation or not, but I could have a couple of weeks ago. What was that, Travis?
Oh yeah. Come by and see what Mark and Yuko did with the property, and then of course you guys could ask us any questions. And does anybody else have any other questions? I know there's a bunch of comments going on here. We might have missed some.
I just want to add real quick, guys.
Yes.
If you are interested in working with us, either email or DM Travis or myself. Can you put your oh no, you have our email because we emailed you. Just email us and let us know that you're interested. We'd be glad to get on a phone with you and talk to you about how we do what we do and what we have to offer. That is it. What else? Yeah. Any last questions, guys? I know it's 2:00. Everybody has a life, but thanks, Robin. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. And yeah, we're gonna do plenty more of these. This was fun.
Yes.
Anybody else have any questions, comments? Everybody enjoy this? You know what would really be
Henry.
helpful? Super, super helpful. Thanks, Ash.
Right on, Ash. Good luck, buddy.
What would be really helpful is if you guys would tell us if this is the kind of information you want, if there's something else you want us to touch on. Between the three of us, Yuko and myself and Travis, massive amounts of experience doing so many different things. I've got a contractor background and Yuko's got a landscaping background. We've been agents for 17, 18 years now. Travis has a tech background. So we're very well rounded. So if you guys have anything that you need, please reach out and let us know. But otherwise, man, thank you guys for being here. We'll announce the next one. It'll be every month for a while, then hopefully we'll get it to every 2 weeks. But for right now, it'll be every month, and we'll make sure you guys are on the mailing list to get that invitation every month from now on.
And please come Friday, guys. It'll be a
Yeah.
cool event, so you could just see how Mark and Yuko work and what we do for these events. And maybe bring some clients or somebody else. You never know who might actually like the house or who knows somebody who might want it.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to network and answer more questions there.
Yeah, very cool, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Kevin, I appreciate your time. I know how busy you are, buddy, and like everybody else here. And Henry, excited. Angie, excited. Henry is going to get his license in about 6 weeks, and I think we already have our first listing, maybe two of them already. Angie's started doing open houses this last weekend, so that's exciting. Guys, everybody's moving forward. There's so much business to be had out there. Holy crap. Everybody, it's weird. It's so weird. Everybody I talk to knows somebody or is somebody that is buying or selling property. Everybody thinks, oh, it's so slow right now. There's no business. Baloney. There's so much business out there. It's ridiculous. And people don't even know where to go. It's like, I don't know what to do. Nobody comes to my neighborhood and drops these off. This is old fashioned. If I only had someone that was dropping these off, I might have had a chance to have a conversation with it. But now I got to talk to somebody and get a referral from somebody. So just keep in mind, there's more business out there than you can handle if you do it right.
Yep.
So 2 listings for us this last 30 days. 2 listings and then 2 flips went on the market this month, or will be going on the market this month. So
for me,
out there, guys.
Yeah, for me, closed one sale, got a new buyer, and both these buyers are at 4% commissions. That'll be a whole nother talk.
Yeah, the commission game. Yeah. Travis talked this into starting, to do 3% on the sale. He does 4, but baby. So he talked us from 2.5% to 3% to list properties, and we have had zero pushback on that. Not when we explain what we do, zero pushback. So much to go over. My God,
I know that. Yeah, we can talk forever.
Yeah,
That'll be our next topic. We'll see you guys Friday, hopefully. All right.
Yeah, peace. And if you guys, like I said, please leave some feedback. Email us and leave us some feedback. Let us know what subjects are really important to you, so we can this is for you. It's not for us, it's for you. So let us know. Peace.